Hi, Officer Tatum. This is MrShowTym speaking. I'm recording this video from South Africa, right? A first world country. And when I say South Africa, I'm not talking about the geolocation south of the African mudplain called Africa. No, it's a country called the Republic of South Africa, right? Do your research, Google it, right? Anyway, I like the video you did titled Kanye walks out on Tim Pool, and then that last segment you did in the end about Nick Fuentes and his perspective, his comments about black folks. I've never really watched Nick Fuentes. I don't know who he is. I'm still yet to check him out on some of the interviews he did on Vlad TV. But I've also listened to Greg Foreman, Black Conservative Channel. He's saying that, Nick Fuentes is not mainstream media friendly because he's been saying that, black folks are less intelligent than white folks. And you know what? In this day and age, I can't disagree with that particular viewpoint. You know why? Because it's true. No, pro-blacks are going to be like, oh, just another brother selling out. Yes, I am. Yes, Ninja, I am. Because Brandon Tatum, you were right when you said, black people still have slave mentalities. Look at the way we spank our kids. Look at the way we treat and handle money. Mismanage money. Look at the way we treat each other. Look at the way a black woman cashier or bank teller would give you the type of scummy, disrespectful, rude customer service, and then once she's done with you, someone else next in line who happens to be white or Caucasian or Asian, she treats them with better respect and manners. I've seen this has happened to me, and I've seen it plainly with my own eyes. I'm like, wow. Cash register treat me like crap, and after I'm gone, I look back over my shoulder and I'm seeing her respond to her. I'm like, yes sir, Mr. White Man. I've seen this literally with my own eyes. Like personal reference. And other black folks have personal reference too. So I'm not the only one. So thank you very much for that particular assertion. Yes, Nick Fuentes, I'm not mad at him. Whatever comments he said about black folks. Is he coming from a place of racism? Maybe. But for me, he's more accurate than he is, racist. Right? But he's right though. I said, the first time I heard about the name Nick Fuentes from Greg Foreman and Anthony Brian Logan, I said, I must meet this man. I'm just kidding. But I said to myself, no, let me, I looked him up and I saw some of the interviews he did. And I said, I haven't watched it yet. I'm still yet to watch it, but Nick Fuentes is not wrong about black folks. Take your emotions aside. Do I like what he say? No. But can I admit and acknowledge that he's correct? Yes. And it's sad. It's not my fault. Listen, the black community is going to get mad at me for acknowledging some of their bullshit-ass behaviors. But it's, instead of being mad at me for acknowledging their problems, how about they get mad at themselves for acting and behaving in such a peasant-like behavior? Our people still think like slaves. I was at a bar. Black man bartender. I asked for, to change a channel, right? I'm a regular at this particular bar. I asked to change a channel. And I was told that no, not until the match starts, right? And the match was about to start half an hour later. Not 5 minutes later, a white man patron calls a bartender, the same guy calls him over and said, he asked the exact same thing that I did. He said, can you change a particular channel? He was like, yes, sir, Mr. White Man. And then he prance over to fetch him, to give him the remote like a little slave. Here you are, Mr. White Man. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow. So I called him over. I'm like, brother, please, a moment, please. And I called him out in a calm manner. I'm like, brother, you just gave him the remote. 5 minutes ago, I asked to change the channel. You gave me rules and boundaries and said no, not until the match starts. And then 5 minutes later, he asked, and because I overheard, he was sitting very close across the table. I heard him, and you run around and you fulfilled his request. The same thing I asked for. Black people still have slave mentalities. My goodness, it is scary and embarrassing. It's embarrassing because it's sad that our dirty laundry has been aired out on the mainstream, like in public. Black people still think like slaves. Look at all the movies that get Oscar awards and Grammy awards. 12 Years a Slave. Will Smith just announced he's gonna create another upcoming movie about slavery again. Is that all there is to know about black folks? Slavery. Black History Month. It's all about slavery. As if black Americans, American descendants of slaves, as if their only history and it started in slavery. As if their only existence started when slavery started. As if their only history dates back to, as if it doesn't date back prior to being slaves and shipped over to America. You get the point? Black Americans, stop calling yourselves ADOS. Stop calling yourselves that. Your history predates slavery. Your history started here in Africa. Didn't you know? Wow. That's enough of a rant. Yeah. Officer B. Tatum, thank you so much for that assertion in that last part of your video. Yes, our people still think like slaves, and of course, how dare I, Uncle Tom, Coon Sellout, how dare I shed truth into light? How dare I? I'm just another fellow Negro from Africa, South Africa, right? That's what they're thinking. That's what a majority of you ninjas are thinking. I mean, you know, how many times have you've been in a debate with fellow black folks, and you say something, the first words they utter in their mouth, are you lying? 1 + 1 is 2. Are you lying, bro? George Washington was the first president of America. Are you lying, bro? I'm like, what the hell? Black folks, they don't argue to find a solution. They argue because they enjoy conflict. But that's a whole nother different story that will require Angry Man to has dissected. Shout out Angry Man. I wish you'd go back to doing more videos about politics. But anyway, thank you so much for watching Brandon Tatum. I've still lost respect for you for like low-key backstabbing Trump and riding the DeSantis bandwagon. I did a video previous to that. But anyway, in this particular video, I agree with you. Thank you so much for that assertion. And yeah, cheers.